Why are we stressing? Yeah, he might owe 50 million.
Just with those two fights, Canelo and the Pacquiao fight, 400 million, just with those two fights.
Imagine getting a letter from the IRS saying you owe millions in taxes. That is how Floyd Mayweather got knocked out by the IRS.
Stephen A. Smith, renowned for his candid commentary, has criticized Floyd Mayweather for his financial controversies. Smith questioned why Mayweather, who has boasted about earning millions per fight, hasn't resolved his debts, particularly with the IRS. He emphasized that someone of Mayweather's financial stature should not be entangled in such issues, suggesting that these controversies tarnish his legacy. Smith's remarks highlight the disconnect between Mayweather's public persona of wealth and the financial disputes he faces.
It comes up to about $140 million that you're throwing around. I don't understand this, but here's all I got to say. For those of you that are looking at him and you're saying to yourself, excuse me, according to the reports, he makes about $1.5 million per show or whatever. Why are we stressing? Yeah, he might owe 50 million.
In his commentary, Smith expressed disbelief over Mayweather's financial decisions, stating that it's perplexing for someone who has earned substantial sums to be involved in such controversies. He implied that Mayweather's actions are not only financially questionable, but also damaging to his reputation in the sports world. Smith's critique underscores the importance of financial responsibility, especially for high-profile athletes. He suggests that Mayweather's current situation serves as a cautionary tale about the potential pitfalls of mismanaging wealth and the impact it can have on one's legacy.
You know, kind of sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
Floyd Mayweather, famously known as Money Mayweather, has consistently flaunted his immense wealth, claiming to have earned $400 million from just 2 fights against Manny Pacquiao and Canelo Alvarez. The 2015 bout with Pacquiao alone generated over $400 million in revenue, with Mayweather reportedly taking home a significant portion of that sum. Despite these staggering earnings, Mayweather faced financial scrutiny when the IRS filed a lien against him for $22.2 million in unpaid taxes from 2015. This situation raised questions about his financial management, especially given his public persona centered around opulence and financial success. In response to the IRS claims, Mayweather asserted that he had already paid $26 million in taxes for that year, questioning the IRS's demands. He emphasized that his financial empire remained rock solid, dismissing concerns about his fiscal responsibilities. This contrast between Mayweather's public declarations of wealth and his tax issues highlights the complexities of managing substantial earnings and the importance of financial diligence, even for the world's highest-paid athletes.
Knight is fighting again, and they say that he's fighting for money. How could that be?
Your team. You know, it's all about who you surround yourself with. I don't know who's his promoter. I gave him the option before. Well, me and Manny spoke before about fighting the first time. I think I offered him, 40 million. I don't know if it was, but I told him I would wire him 20 million within 48 hours. And then at that particular time, he said he wanted 50-50, and he got off the phone. And at that time, I think I was going to make for that fight probably 75 million at that time, somewhere upwards of 75 million. But it's all about timing. I took my time, I waited, we communicated.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. often reflects on his journey from humble beginnings to becoming one of the most successful athletes in history. Growing up in New Jersey, he lived in a one-bedroom apartment with multiple family members and often faced hardships like a lack of electricity. His mother struggled with drug addiction, and his father, Floyd Sr., was incarcerated during significant parts of his childhood. Despite these challenges, Mayweather found solace and purpose in boxing. He recalls, "I basically raised myself," emphasizing the self-reliance he developed early on. His father, a former boxer, instilled in him the importance of discipline and focus, often advising him to limit interactions with the media and to let his performance speak for itself. Mayweather's mindset is encapsulated in his statement, "It's never good enough." This reflects his relentless drive and indifference to external opinions. He has consistently demonstrated a nonchalant attitude toward criticism, focusing instead on his goals and achievements. His story is a testament to resilience and determination, illustrating how he overcame adversity to reach the pinnacle of his spread.
Before I can take care of anyone outside the home, I must take care of home first. So what I believe in every day is I strengthen my children and my family by giving them wisdom about life. In the boxing world, my dad taught me also, the less you get hit, the longer you can last in the sport of boxing. That's not anything in life. For a person that's working a 9 to 5, an everyday job, you want to take as less punishment as possible on the job so you can last a very long time and feed your family. And then my dad also taught me this. It's never good enough, no matter what. It's never good enough.
Stephen A. Smith has openly criticized Floyd Mayweather for continuing to participate in exhibition fights against less formidable opponents, such as Conor McGregor. Smith questions why Mayweather, who has earned substantial sums from his boxing career, including approximately $280 million from his fight against McGregor, would engage in these matches. He suggests that such bouts are primarily motivated by financial gain rather than competitive spirit. Smith argues that Mayweather's involvement in these exhibitions diminishes his legacy, stating, "When you're that great and you're that elite, not just anyone deserves to be in the ring with you, even if you are retired." He implies that Mayweather's choice of opponents in these fights does not reflect the caliber of competition he faced during his prime, thereby potentially tarnishing his reputation. Furthermore, Smith highlights the incongruity between Mayweather's substantial earnings and reports of financial obligations, such as a $22.2 million tax lien from the IRS in 2015. He questions why an athlete of Mayweather's financial stature would face such issues, suggesting that these situations could be avoided with proper financial management. Floyd Mayweather has long been known for his extravagant lifestyle and public displays of wealth. In May 2024, reports emerged of Mayweather giving $30,000 in cash to 3 homeless men near Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. This act was widely shared on social media, with some praising his generosity. However, skepticism arose when Mayweather posted on Instagram from Dubai shortly after the reports surfaced. His presence in Dubai at the time led some to question the authenticity of the charitable act, suggesting that the reports might have been exaggerated or misrepresented. The timing of his social media activity cast doubt on the narrative of his direct involvement in the Los Angeles incident.
So where is Floyd Mayweather? Is he still stuck in Dubai? Is he back in the United States? Because, you know, there's been a lot of contradicting stories coming out about this, but we do have an update of exactly what's going on. And I do think there is some lying involved. I don't know who's lying, but somebody is lying. And that's what we're going to figure out in today's video. By the end of this video, I hope we figure out where Floyd Mayweather is. So on the 2nd of May, TMZ came out with this article. It says Floyd Mayweather gives $30K to a group of homeless men before Clippers game. Now this comes amid, rumors of Floyd Mayweather being stuck in Dubai because he owes people money. And, these are coming from trustworthy sources, Gervonta Davis, Floyd Mayweather, people who know about Floyd Mayweather's inner life. But back to TMZ. So they reported Floyd Mayweather was courtside for last night's pivotal Clippers versus Mavericks game, but before money got to the arena, he was handing it out, blessing 3 homeless men with $30K. Now, there are no pictures, there is no video of this happening, but there is an official TMZ article, and TMZ usually gets it right. TMZ also said, we're told Mayweather began talking to the guys and decided he wanted to help, so he busted out his backpack and blessed each guy with 10 racks.
This situation highlights the complexities of public perception and the challenges celebrities face in managing their image. Floyd Mayweather recently claimed to have engaged in a charitable act in Los Angeles, an announcement that was widely reported. However, the timing of this claim raised doubts about its authenticity. At the same time, Mayweather was spotted in Dubai, leading many to question whether the charitable event had actually taken place or if it was merely a fabricated story to enhance his public image. The inconsistency between his reported actions and actual whereabouts sparked skepticism about his true motivations. While charity work can often boost a celebrity's reputation, a false claim or misrepresentation can have the opposite effect. In Mayweather's case, the discrepancy between his public statements and personal actions cast a shadow over his credibility, making it appear that he used charity as a tool for self-promotion rather than genuine goodwill. This serves as a cautionary tale about how easily the public can be misled and how important it is for celebrities to maintain consistency between their words and actions. In the end, the false claim only contributed to further damaging Mayweather's reputation. Floyd Mayweather, once celebrated as the best ever, now faces scrutiny over his financial management. Despite earning substantial sums during his boxing career, including a reported $220 million from his 2015 fight against Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather has encountered issues with the Internal Revenue Service, IRS. In 2017, the IRS filed a federal tax lien against him for $22.2 million in unpaid taxes from 2015. Mayweather's response to these allegations included a petition to the U.S. Tax Court, requesting a temporary reprieve until after his 2017 fight with Conor McGregor, which was anticipated to generate significant income. He argued that his assets were restricted and primarily illiquid, suggesting that immediate payment was not feasible. However, the IRS maintained that with his substantial earnings, he possessed sufficient assets to address his tax liabilities. This situation has led to public debate about Mayweather's financial practices, with some questioning the sustainability of his lavish lifestyle and the authenticity of his declared wealth. While Mayweather continues to engage in exhibition matches, he asserts that these are for personal enjoyment rather than financial necessity.
Yes. But he's just flaunting, as you said, he's flaunting his opulence. He's also flaunting basically his middle finger at the IRS. You cannot do this.
No.
You will lose. This is one foe you can't outrun or outdance or outsmart or play defense on. You just can't get away with it. You can try for a while, but the clock is just, that meter is just running and running and running, and it's just going straight up. Interest and penalties as we speak. Another day just passed, another interest penalty. And I don't get Floyd, because he's so out there with it, as you say, on Instagram. So it's not like he's trying to hide his opulence. He is throwing it out for all to see with all those cars and all the, it's outrageous, and he's earned it.
Joe Rogan recently expressed astonishment over Floyd Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle and financial decisions. In a podcast episode, Rogan was visibly stunned by Mayweather's collection of luxury items, including million-dollar watches and an array of diamonds. Rogan remarked, "He needs money to keep coming in if you're going to spend like this," highlighting concerns about the sustainability of such lavish expenditures. Mayweather's financial practices have been under scrutiny, particularly regarding his tax obligations. In 2017, the IRS filed a lien indicating that Mayweather owed $22.2 million in taxes from 2015, a year he earned a substantial sum from his fight against Manny Pacquiao. Despite claiming to have paid $26 million that year, discrepancies remained. More recently, in 2024, Mayweather paid over $18 million to the IRS, suggesting ongoing tax liabilities even in retirement. These financial revelations underscore the challenges even high-earning athletes can face in managing wealth. Rogan's observations serve as a reminder of the importance of financial prudence, regardless of one's income level.
I owe that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
it's
pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money that there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell those.
Floyd Mayweather's former accountant, Dave Hall, has shed light on the boxer's casual approach to significant financial amounts. Hall recalls that Mayweather often dismissed figures like $100,000 or $200,000 here or there, or even $50,000 as inconsequential. To Mayweather, these sums didn't move the needle, reflecting a mindset that money was abundant and not worth meticulous tracking. However, such a perspective raised concerns among high net worth investors. Hall points out that for substantial assets, like a commercial property or a mall valued at $100 million, a $10 million profit taxed at 37 to 40% instead of the anticipated 20 to 24% can lead to significant financial setbacks. This discrepancy underscores the importance of strategic tax planning, especially when potential policy changes, such as the removal of the step-up in basis, could further increase future tax burdens. Mayweather's approach serves as a cautionary tale about the risks of neglecting detailed financial oversight.
How much money do you have in your bank account?
Which account? Which bank?
You have more than one account?
Absolutely.
I don't even have one account. Give me the amount of money you have in one of your accounts.
200 million, 300 million.
Dollars?
Yeah, in different accounts.
Floyd Mayweather's former accountant has shed light on the boxing champion's cavalier approach to finances, revealing that Mayweather often dismissed amounts like 100 or 200 grand here or there, or even $50,000 as insignificant. According to the accountant, to him, those numbers didn't move the needle. This casual attitude towards substantial sums raised concerns among high net worth investors, who understand that such figures can significantly impact financial outcomes. The accountant further explained that for investors managing large assets, even a modest tax increase can lead to substantial financial repercussions. For instance, a $10 million profit from a commercial property or mall, taxed at a higher rate of 37 to 40% instead of the usual 20 to 24%, represents a significant additional tax burden. This scenario underscores the importance of meticulous financial planning and awareness of tax implications. Mayweather's dismissive stance towards such financial details has raised questions about his overall financial management strategy. While his earnings from boxing have been substantial, this approach suggests a potential lack of attention to the nuances of wealth preservation and growth. Such practices highlight the complexities and risks associated with managing significant wealth.
Not going to be able to do a solo 401k, but you can do solo self-directed 401ks, $20,500 contribution that can go in there from you. You can also have employers. I mean, you get up to 50, I think it's actually $64,000 into those this year. So, I mean, again, large amounts you can get inside of there, which if you got the extra money, then builds up to where you can buy properties. Maybe initially you're just doing loans, but over time you're starting to buy actual assets inside of there, and all that's growing tax-free.
Yeah. So do you see any issues coming up front? Any issues coming up, or any challenges, or anything that can affect tax changes that are coming? Obviously, tax rates are going up, but anything that's anyone that's listening, that's a real estate investor should be aware of, or
Yeah. The biggest thing that they're talking about is increasing the long-term capital gains rate, getting it back up to ordinary tax. Now that's what's being discussed is anything over $1 million transaction. So you'd have many people that are getting into just residences, making 100, 200 grand here or there, $50,000 not going to affect. But for those large investors, obviously that's becoming very concerning, because if you've got a building, big mall or something else, it could be worth $100 million. All of a sudden you've got a $10 million profit on there that's now going to be taxed at 37 or 40 versus 20 to 24. Huge difference. So that's the biggest one people are keeping their eye on. There are some discussions that the step up in basis would go away with death, that people would no longer be able to get real estate with the step up in basis. But both of these have kind of fizzled. Again, they were part of Build Back Better that President Biden could never get enough support for. And with all the other economic issues that are going on right now, they've basically put it all on hold and said, look, we're not going to make any of these big changes until we can get inflation and some of these other things under control.
I saw a thing the other day that I guess it was up to 9.1% inflation.
Yeah.
And it just, was that yesterday, I think. It
Yesterday
was all over Facebook that it went up like even more. And I know that we got quoted on a refinance for like 8%.
Floyd Mayweather's business partner has revealed a concerning truth about the boxing legend's finances. Despite earning over $1.2 billion in his career, Mayweather's lavish lifestyle is draining his wealth. Even with millions flowing in annually, his extravagant spending habits are outpacing his income. Mayweather indulges in luxury cars, private jets, and expensive real estate, with reports of him spending hundreds of thousands every month. His business partner highlighted that even if Mayweather is making $100 million, the massive outflows still outpace the income. This financial strain is compounded by ongoing tax obligations, including a significant amount owed to the IRS. Despite his public persona as one of the wealthiest athletes, these revelations suggest that Mayweather's financial situation may not be as secure as it appears. The combination of lavish spending and substantial debts raises concerns about the sustainability of his wealth. Floyd Mayweather's financial practices highlight the critical need for responsible wealth management, regardless of how much money one earns. Despite his immense income from boxing and business ventures, his lavish spending on luxury cars, real estate, and private jets has led to significant debt. This financial mismanagement has now caught up with him, as he's facing legal challenges, including tax liabilities and unpaid wages. Mayweather's situation serves as a stark reminder that without careful financial planning, even the wealthiest individuals can find themselves in financial distress.
Look, man, you know, we both made some real money, but you know, you start burning through, you make $2-3 million a year, you burning through $100,000 a month. You ain't really got that much money.
Shit, he probably spending way more than that.
No, I'm talking regular dudes.
I see what you're
say
saying.
we made $3 million, we burning through $100,000 a month. We really don't got no paper like that saved
that's
up.
a fact.
So even if he's making $100 million, if he's burning through $5, $6, $7 million a month, you still got taxes, you still got responsibilities. So I don't know nobody's bag, but you know, me and you, we real. We never count nobody paper. So
Not at all.
I hope he got $10 billion. And I hope he get out of this problem.
That's a fact, because you would figure he should be able to just cash him out. Like whatever the tab is, you know, he should be able to wire that.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.